Hello, flamethrowers. I'm so excited right now. You don't understand my level of excitement. It's pretty high to actually have Emina Ekic on with me as a special Patreon segment. If you don't know Emina, you need to know who Emina is. She's a Bosnian American professional soccer player, was selected fifth overall in the 2021 NWSL draft. She's a starting forward at Racing Louisville, whose kits, I must add, are fire. She's a future University of Louisville Hall of Famer and earned an All-American, All-ACC first-team accolades throughout her collegiate career, ending it as ACC Offensive Player of the Year. When she's not playing soccer, eating, or being Louisville's greatest fan, Emina can be found spending her time with her family and friends. She enjoys playing ping pong, spike ball, and exploring the city. I need to find out what spike ball is, and we will do that. Emina, welcome. Marhaba.
Thank you. Fala.
So initially when I found out about you, you're probably one of the only, and I told you this, Muslim identifying professional footballers in North America who's a woman. So I love that you're from Kentucky because I actually don't know anyone from Kentucky. So this is exciting for me, but also you're fasting as you're playing. And as an identifiable Muslim woman, you're okay. I want to talk about that. I do want to jump into that because it's the month of Ramadan. And I want to know for people that don't know, and I've talked about it on the show, Ramadan is a holy month in our calendar where we fast from sunrise to sunset. No, we can't even drink water. So how do you manage that with the athleticism and the and like the exertion of yourself athletically? How does that work?
Yeah, so I just want to say that Louisville has been really open and helpful. Like my head coach, the coaches, my strength and conditioning coach, and they just I let them know ahead of time when I want to fast, and they'll plan stuff for me ahead of time. They'll give me my protein shake and stuff to take at night when I break my fast. But yeah, it just all depends because I am a rookie in one of the best women's professional leagues, soccer leagues. So it is listening to my body and knowing, when is too much, I have to recover. I need proper nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
I need to build strength. I need to be good to go for trainings and not risk any injury. So definitely pick and choose my moments. My family's very open to not forcing anything upon me, which is what I like. We are very invested into our religion, but if I have to not fast because of playing and practicing, then that's okay. But when I do have off days or something, it makes it easy to fast and pick and choose when I do that.
Yeah, it's awesome. I actually had interviewed a couple of years ago Nadia Nadim and she said the same thing, very similar. She's like, she chooses when she does, and she works with nutritionists. Is that something you do too? Work with the team of coaches and stuff, and they give you advice? What's in your protein shake at night? What kind of shake is it?
I usually drink whey protein.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of it. So we drink it after practices and after we lift, and I drink a little bit extra just so I can put on a little bit more weight.
Right.
Because that's what's in the books for me. I need to put on a little bit more lean muscle. I'm not the biggest.
Yeah.
So yeah, fasting definitely, I guess, doesn't help with that. But my strength coach will get my shake ready, and I'll just keep it in the fridge, and I'll drink it at the end of the day, sunset, just so I'm still replenishing my body and getting those nutrients in.
So after hours, after the fast ends at sunset, are you drinking a lot of water? Do you find yourself just kind of, because for me, it's thirst. That's the biggest issue, right? So do you do that too?
Yeah.
Do you eat, or do you just get fried chicken and haul it down and then
I definitely get thirsty too. I feel like our spring is very random, but whenever I fast, I feel like it's been hot. So I kind of get a cotton mouth at practice where it's just really just chapped. I do drink a lot of water. That's probably what I break my fast with first.
Yeah.
But I eat and I do drink a lot of water.
Awesome. So you did mention that you're a rookie. You're a rookie in a pandemic year. What a bizarre, chaotic, weird thing. and nothing that anyone could have predicted as you were coming up through university and college system and, aiming to play. And were you always aiming to play in the NWSL? And also, what has it been like in a pandemic?
Yeah, I've definitely always wanted to play soccer at the highest level and like live out my dreams to live professionally and play for the national team. I would say though, because I finished my last semester in college during the worst of the pandemic, so that was like a lot of just like COVID testing, a lot of the unknown training, and not knowing if we're going to have a season. The whole draft was an issue because it was like, is it going to happen? Mm-hmm. There was like so many rumors. Are we going to have two? Are we going to let them come back and play their spring season because like it's a weird year? So like there were just so many decisions to make.
Right.
I would say that now it's a lot easier, and we're not in a bubble all like based in one location. So it's kind of more normal than my fall was, and more normal than the previous year was with like the Challenge Cup. But yeah, it's like working towards normal. Like we're trying to get vaccinated. Some people have the vaccine, some are getting their second. We get tested a couple times a week, so we wear our masks. Nothing that's new, but I definitely think things are opening up. It's nice that we can have fans at games now.
Yeah.
It's so weird playing sports without people there cheering you on, or even watching sports on TV without people there.
Yeah, definitely. And so has that been the weirdest thing as you've been a rookie in this pandemic? That's been the biggest transition and thing, or is that like as protocols during practice must be different as well, right? Like you have to observe like all the rules that change quite a bit. That's also been an adjustment, has it not?
Yeah, I would say more so in college, just because you had more exposure to different people, and like they couldn't really just by the rules like keep you in a bubble. But here I feel like as a team we're very like everyone's responsible and we're after the same thing, and we don't hang out with anyone outside of our bubble, so it's pretty safe between the staff and the players.
Awesome.
So like at practice, obviously we don't have to wear our masks. In college we did have to wear our masks.
Okay.
So it's just, I feel like a maturity level thing to where we're all safer and we want to play.
Yeah, for sure. Is there a player that you've played against, or that, first of all, it's a two-part question. Have you ever gotten starstruck is my question.
Definitely.
Tell me about that.
Well, I don't know if you saw it, but on my debut, I swapped jerseys with Marta.
Yes, I saw that on Twitter. Actually, I didn't catch the match, but I saw that. That's wild.
I know that. I was kind of, people were asking me about it. They're like, did you go up to her? Did she come up to you? Did someone ask? Like, what happened? Was it kind of just like a media thing because we're a new club and it's Marta and it was like the debut? And I was like, she actually talked to me first. So in the game, she was like, she played the ball and I was defending her because she was like the forward on my side and I kind of have to drop back a little bit. And she just looks at me and she asked me how old I was. And she was like, you're really young. And I was like, I'm 21. Yeah. And then like, that was really the conversation. And then after the game, because I grew up watching Marta, I love like watching how she plays. Like I idolized her. And then after the game, I asked her for her jersey, and like, believe it or not, like she came over and she gave it to me and she even signed it. And then someone just happened to be there to take the picture. So it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one to start. I love that flex. I was defending Marta. Like that's I love you dropping that. That's amazing. And the other thing I was going to ask was that, what's a player that you've looked up to the most? Is it also Marta as like playing style or character or contribution to the game? Like, what is there a player that you've looked up to?
I would say I really enjoy Marta and like watching her play on the women's side, but on the men's side, Ronaldinho.
Okay.
If you're familiar with him, I probably fell in love with the game because of him, like watching him play and just He was amazing, but he always was smiling and having a good time.
Do I take it? Do I take it that you're a Barca fan?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
100%.
Okay, we're good. I'm in good company then. We're good. But I also love your nod to Brazilian footballers. That's pretty awesome there. You know,
Yeah.
you love
I'm really
that.
drawn to Brazilian soccer. I loved futsal growing up. It was my favorite thing. And I'm pretty sure that's where futsal originated, was Brazil.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's played all over the world now. Like Iran women have like this incredible team. But yes, it's, you know, and sand and on the beach and everything like that. That's amazing. So just jumping back to the whole Ramadan thing. What's your favorite food? I should have asked you this in the beginning. What's your favorite food to break your fast with when you are fasting? And just generally.
Usually my mom, I always go home and like break my fast with my family, but sometimes my mom will make her pita, and it's not like pita bread.
Yeah.
It's like pita. It's like kind of just like stuffed dough, and it's like in a spiral.
Mm-hmm.
She'll make like mini ones, or she'll make like the big one, and my favorite filling is like the cheese filling ones.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably my favorite food. I could eat those for days.
Yeah, I was telling you about, I have a best friend who's Bosnian, one of my close friends, and her mother's pita is like my favorite. It's just delicious. And for those that are trying to understand what PIDE, it's actually similar to a spanakopita, but it's not as flaky. It's more doughy. So if you kind of want to get that idea of what it is. And so you have taken your identities as Bosnian American, and are you a Kentuckian? What's the word for being from Kentucky?
I would be careful, because you have your U of L and you have your UK.
Okay.
So I'm definitely, from Louisville. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, but go Cards.
Okay, I have no idea what that means, but okay. And also, it's pronounced Louisville, not Louisville. It's Louisville.
Yeah, it's Louisville.
Louisville.
If you're not from it, it takes a while.
Yeah,
I think
good
the
practice.
teams actually, they're doing really well. The teams we don't have Louisville, which is good. That's probably the worst one. Louisville I can work with, but it's like deep in the throat. Okay. So the team is working on it. They're doing really well with it, actually. A lot more
Louisville's. Okay. I love that I'm getting this information, because like I simply, like, I don't know, right? And it's important. I know what a Louisville slugger is, because I learned that from a Carrie Underwood song.
Yeah.
So I know what that is. So, okay. So I'll be pronouncing it. I also really love that you said you're also Racing Louisville's like their greatest fan, because I'm a big proponent. Like similarly, this podcast, I don't know if you've heard of it, Burn It All Down. I'm the biggest fan, and I'm one of the co-hosts and co-creators. So I'm all for you, like literally holding space and like standing your own space. I'm all for that. So and so tell me a little bit, because we did have a segment where we talked about the new kits for the NWSL job. My favorite was definitely Louisville. It was they were beautiful, and the lilac color flowers, and then the butterflies and the bees as a nod to Muhammad Ali. Like, tell me about this. When you saw it, were you like, what?
For a while we were all like, because we didn't know what they looked like for the longest time either, until maybe a day or two before they got revealed to the public. But I like the white, like it's really clean and classic, but then you have like our home kits, and they're very out there, and I love the flowers and all the components, and like so much details went into it, and like our media team and just like everyone behind the scenes did a great job. But I think pointing out the float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, like Muhammad Ali, just makes it even better, and that people know that, then they understand the jersey more and the story behind it. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. And tell me about being a part of a new team in the NWSL. Like, are you like a family? Because like that, the media team, and that, the people that you work with, you're a smaller club, but because you're new, but is it like that? Is it like a community? And how have the fans been?
Definitely. I feel like that's what Louisville is all about, as a city.
Mhm.
It's just like being tight knit and close and like kind of having each other's back. The fans have been amazing.
Mhm.
They show out to the games. I mean, we had such a big attendance for the debut. I think we sold out, and then previous game on Monday, I mean, it was the Monday night, and we had so many people there, like dressed up, smoke bombs, like cheering, people with like drums. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but behind like one of the goals, there's like people lined with the drums, and they like do cheers the entire time. But the team is super close. I mean, we're young and we're hungry. We don't want to just be in the league. We want to make a statement and we want to do well.
Mm.
And we kind of have to lean on each other and work for each other because we are new, we lack experience, but we don't lack quality. And we're definitely here to hang.
Yeah. I mean, it must be so fun to be close to home too. Like, do your parents and your family come to every match, like every single one?
Every match. They came to every match when I went to college at Louisville, the university. And now it just like extended. I think that was like really big for them. Like me staying home and then being able to be close to them and them coming to games. My grandparents would come to all my games too, and my uncle, and just like all my family that could make it always came.
That's amazing that you have such a supportive like family. That's like it's so much fun. I want to come to Louisville just to hang out with your family watching you play. Like I literally
we can set that up.
I would totally love to. The border opens. I'm in Canada. I'm vaxxed and will come because I want Nana and your grandparents to be okay, right? I want everyone to be healthy and everything like that. And me, obviously, but I would love to, because I think that that's something that's such a part of it. And that when people think about Islam generally, and they think about Muslims, they don't think about them supporting, their kids or their girls in particular. And I come from experience where my parents were amazing with me. I played in university. And in fact, the only few times my dad came to watch was when I was there, just so he could show off and say that I played there. Right. But also you're merging your identity as a Bosnian American, because sometimes people with dual nationalities do this in history and in connection to where they're from originally. Have you considered playing for Bosnia? Like, is that an option for you? Because girl, you can make that national team,
I would, but I'm like really invested in the US, and I've been to a lot of like national team camps here, and like that's ultimately my goal. I want to compete for the best team and further grow and develop myself. Like, all respect to like Bosnia, and like it would be awesome to represent them as well, but I really have like high hopes to play here and represent the USA, because this is where I grew up.
In Louisville. What is it?
Louisville.
I'll get it. I'll literally all day I'll just be walking around going Louisville.
If you think of it as spelled Looahvul,
Louisville. Okay. Because I mean, your accent isn't even that strong.
Which one?
Like the Kentucky one.
Oh yeah.
But you can. Are you turning it all down for me? Is that what's happening?
No, I wouldn't say that I've ever really had a strong accent, because like I've always lived in the city.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll say y'all here and there, but it's like really subtle.
I say y'all. And I'm from
Toronto.
A lot
of people say y'all.
Everyone says y'all now. But this has been so great. Like, I'm so excited to talk to you and meet you, and just, so also really fascinated and impressed at the way you balance your identities, like to be fasting and to be observing Ramadan and doing all this stuff while practicing and, being a professional athlete is like all the power to you. And, we'll be watching you. I'll be also looking for your family in the stands. I'm not going to lie about that. I will totally be like, there they are. There's Auntie. Oh, there, I see you. So that would be amazing. And, thank you so much for being here and being on Burn It All Down, because this is awesome.
Yes, thank you for having me. And also, they sit in section 210 always. So if you're going to start somewhere, start there.
So everybody, you heard that. You heard Emina. Look for her family in section 210. Give them a wave on the TV. And if you're ever there, if any of you are going to Racing Louisville games, go say hi. to the Ekic family, and I'm sure they'd be really. Do they wear your jersey? Do they wear your kit?
I think they haven't come in yet, but they have like I got them matching like racing Louisville shirts that are like really cool, and they have their masks, so they're all really kind of decked out.
That's
They're hard
amazing.
to miss. They're probably going to be wearing the same thing. I got my brother the same shirt too, and he's like a 16-year-old boy, so he doesn't want to like match my parents, but they'll probably make them.
That's amazing. That is so great. When you talk to your parents, give them my salams. And this was amazing. And early Eid Mubarak to you. Baida Mubarak early.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for this, Emina.
Yes, no, thank you for having me.